Good morning, everybody. You're tuned to Radio Kidnappers, the voice of Hawke's Bay, and you're listening to a program called Your Time to Shine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you've been listening to this show for a while, you're probably wondering why Ken isn't introducing the show as he usually does with his very difficult questions to me and his wonderful, wonderful voice. The reason for that is that I have decided to take over Your Time to Shine, and Ken is still the producer of the show, but I am the star now, the star of Your Time to Shine. So this is very exciting. I have decided that 2020 was going to be a year for me of stepping out of my comfort zone again and again, and so here I am. So welcome to the show. If this is the first time that you're listening to me, to Your Time to Shine, well, let me introduce myself. I am your host, Celine Harlow. Celine is spelled Celine. I am originally French, but I've been living in New Zealand for the past 3 years, probably. And obviously, Celine, like Celine Dion, obviously she was named after me, not the other way around. And so allow me to guide you really through your own journey to self-development and self-love. And if you don't know anything about my work, I am a life coach, I am a spiritual seeker, I am a wife, a friend, an immigrant. I am a lot of things, right? And I'm sure that you are a lot of things as well. We like to wear many, many hats. But I think the most important thing about me that you want to know is that I am passionate about finding happiness. I have been on a lifelong journey to find happiness for myself, and especially for the past 5 years. And you're welcome to listen to the previous episodes of this show where I talk, for a long time about my story with acne and self-love. But I have been passionate about finding happiness, and really what I wanted to experience through my journey is experiencing happiness without the help of drugs or alcohol or any artificial instrument, right, to happiness. I just wanted to understand if it was possible for me to experience happiness, to feel good in my body, in my life, in myself, from the inside out, really. So this is what I want to share with you during this program. You're so very welcome to join me on this journey. I'm also a Reiki teacher and a Theta healing practitioner. Yeah, and I'm excited to share everything that I know about happiness and self-love with you guys. So welcome. So over the next 30 minutes, we're going to talk about conscious manifesting. What a great topic to talk about for our first episode of 2020, right? So conscious manifesting, first of all, what is it? So conscious manifesting is the basic understanding that you are in control of your reality. You are in control of your reality, yay! So you are in charge of your life. You're in charge of everything that happens in your life. So this is a very deep understanding, and it's both beautiful and confronting at the same time. So why is it beautiful? It's beautiful because let me start the other way around. Why is it confronting? It's confronting because normally when I say this to people, they say, well, that's all very nice, but this terrible thing happened to me when I was a child. How can you say that I created this? Like, are you mean or something, Celine? So my understanding of that, and my answer to you would be that, so we're here to grow and to learn and to evolve, right? And so we learn from each and every situation in our lives. And most of us, a lot of us, have a belief that we learn from difficult situations, from challenges, from traumas and dramas. And it is easier for us to learn through stories of abuse or bullying or whatever. It is easier for us to learn how to stand up for ourselves, how to speak our truth, how to say no, how to keep ourselves safe emotionally and physically, rather than if my life was a happy fairy tale kind of thing, right? So my answer to you would be, well, if you take that example that is obviously still very painful for you, can you understand what you learned from the experience? So I'm sure that you learned a lot of limiting beliefs, and there's a lot of anger and resentment there, but what is the beauty, what is the virtue, what is the gift in that situation? And a lot of your lessons will probably be around compassion, standing up for yourself, knowing yourself, learning how to love yourself, learning how to have healthy boundaries with others. So what did you learn? And it is a beautiful understanding, because once you understand that you've created everything that has happened in your life so far, if there is something that you don't like in your life right now, it means that you can change it, because you're in charge of your life. And so it's a beautiful understanding, because now you no longer have the possibility to blame God or the universe or the planets or your mom for everything that has happened for you. You are in charge. And so if there's something that you don't like, then you can change it. It is a beautiful understanding and a confronting one, I found. I actually just did a session on myself this morning, and I felt that everything it's going really great in my life right now. I'm working with so many beautiful clients. I have, lots of money coming in the bank, and I feel connected to my husband. I have amazing friends. I'm planning to come and see my family in Europe again this year, and I'm just starting to plan everywhere that I want to go and all the people that I want to see, because it's been a few years, and I had this fear that started to grow within me that everything was going to fall apart, that all these beautiful things were going to be taken away from me, and that was causing me a lot of stress and anxiety, and I was starting to manifest those little challenges into my life. And so during the process of the session, it took about an hour and a half for me to get to really the core of it and cover all of these aspects. I realized that I was afraid of being alone, and that I didn't even know what being loved by the divine, by God, by Creator, by love, really, by this core aspect of me. I didn't know what unconditional love felt like, and I didn't know how to allow this divine energy to love me unconditionally. So it was a very deep session for me. So I've been working on this for all my life. I've been on this spiritual quest to find happiness for my entire life, and I've been doing this. I've been working professionally with clients for the past 3 years, and still I'm looking into what happiness feels like and is for me. So this is a very exciting journey. I'm so happy that you're joining me today. All right, so it all starts with your mindset, and often you will find when you dive into manifesting that there's so many worthiness issues there. What do you believe you are worthy of? What do you believe is possible for you? I find that a lot of people, actually, let me tell you an example. I worked with a beautiful, beautiful woman last year, and she was wanting to create a business. She wanted to create something different for herself. She was at this stage of her life when she wanted to make different choices, and so we kind of went deep into it and we started to look at the root and the core of the belief system, and we realized that she had denied herself the right to dream and to hope and to create consciously. She felt like she had failed at her life, that everything had happened to her, that there was no more space for happiness and hope and abundance in her life anymore. So she didn't feel that she was worthy of experiencing more. And so sometimes, I'll talk to people and they'll start to complain about their job or whatever to me, and I'm like, well, what do you want to change? It's possible for you to find a different job. What is it that you truly, 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 truly want to do? And they'll look at me for a second, and they'll be like, but it's not so bad. It's not so bad, it's not the best, but it pays the bill, and I have my house, and I have my dog, and I have my partner. It's not so bad, right? A lot of people have it worse than me, which is fair enough. But I think we all have a happiness cap. You have you believe that you can have so much happiness in your life, and then you're like, well, it's impossible for me to have more. So for you, your happiness cap might be that you have just enough money, you have just enough to pay your bills, just enough to pay your mortgage, just enough to go on holiday every now and again, just enough, right? Just enough happiness, just enough friendships, just enough satisfaction and health and vitality in your life. It's just not possible to have more. But then you start looking at the lives of other people, right? The people who are successful, have made it happen for themselves, successful, happy actors and, influencers in our world. And you realize that their happiness cap is a lot higher than yours. And why is that the case? It's the case because they realize that the happiness cap is just an illusion, right? It's just an understanding that you can raise your worthiness, you can raise how much your belief in yourself, you can change it, you can allow yourself to experience more joy and love and happiness and peace in your life. It's just the way it is. And so one of my teachers says, new level, new devil, right? So it's safer for you to have that happiness cap because it's keeping you safe. It's not very satisfying, but it's keeping you safe, right? It's not that bad, it's not that good, but it's all right, it's enough. You know, you can call it satisfying. And it's preventing you from stepping out of your comfort zone and from encountering new devils. Because, you know, when you step out of your comfort zone, then new fears are arising, new limiting beliefs are arising. Your family starts to like, what are you doing? Are you sure about that? You just quit your job and you want to work for yourself? Are you stupid or what? So when I decided to take over the show for Your Time to Shine, I became so... I made the decision a month ago, I'll be honest with you guys, and here I am today, and I am terrified because now I no longer have Ken to guide me throughout the show, to keep the conversation going, to keep me going and ask, you know, interesting questions so that you can learn the most, you know, from this episode. So yeah, new level, new devils, and it's fine, you know, I can move through the fear. I think that we pay a lot of attention to the role of fear in our lives, and we really become attached to the importance of the comfort zone in our lives, and so it prevents us from experiencing more. So who knows what's going to happen as a result of me stepping out of my comfort zone and speaking my truth to you guys. You know, maybe it's going to inspire one single person to take that one action, write that email, make that phone call, start a business, start a Facebook page, I don't know, book that trip to Europe, or start dating. I don't know, but maybe it's going to inspire somebody to take that one little step out of their comfort zone. So that's very exciting, and I'm so excited to be able to do this with you guys, with your support, and thank you so much for being here. Amazing. So we're back to it. Okay, so there are 3 steps that I can think of when it comes to conscious manifesting, and I want to share these 3 steps with you. So the first step is, what do you want? You know, I talk to a lot of people about manifesting, and I've been on this journey myself for the past 2 years. I've learned a lot about manifesting during that time. It's been really challenging, but now I can sit here and talk to you about manifesting. And I find that we think we want something, but when you start diving into that desire, into that dream, into that hope, into that manifestation, you realize that it's not actually what you truly want. So a good example of that is money. So we all want to win the lotto, or have that promotion at work, or we all want to have more money in the bank. But when you start diving into the desire, you find that what you really want, and that's been my experience, and I hope that it's the same for you, but let's chat if it's not. What you realize is that what you truly want is the freedom, the adventure, the connection, the understanding, the deep knowing and feeling that you can create anything you want in your life. That feeling of being powerful, of being responsible, of being connected, of the universe responding to you, of experiencing more joy and happiness in your life. That's what you really want to experience. And so there's this belief that the money is going to bring you all of those feelings, but actually, well, we know that it's not really the case, because when you program your mindset to think, okay, I need more money to be happy, even when you reach that income, you'll still be reaching for that next level of income in order to be happy. And it's this constant seeking of happiness, if that makes sense to you. So another thing is that a lot of us know what they would rather avoid in their lives rather than what they want to create, right? So I'll give you an example. So a lot of women come to me and they want to meet their soulmate. They want to manifest their soulmate into their lives. And so we start talking about it, and what they talk is the fear of being lonely, is the fear of not being connected, the fear of missing out of love and connection and intimacy into their lives. And so they just want to avoid being lonely. And they think that meeting their soulmates actually is going to fix that problem. If you're in a relationship, if you're married, if you're in a long in a stable relationship with your partner, you know that that's not the case. That you can't really expect your partner to satisfy your needs, to make you happy, to make you love yourself. This is something that comes from the inside out, because when you love yourself, then you can meet your partner in that space of completion and wholeness. And if your partner is also loving themselves, then you can come together and create something beautiful, rather than, I need you to make me feel safe, I need you to make me feel loved, I need you to make me feel appreciated and respected and worthy, right? It's a different understanding, but the quest is still the soulmate, right? But the way you go about it is completely different. I hope that makes sense. And another thing is that, we have been programmed to want more, to want that better car, to want that promotion, to want that house, to want that handsome husband, to want the kids, right? It's been programmed into our DNA to want more. And it's obviously been a result, and that's my understanding of things, it's been a result of this consumer society, that we need to buy more in order to be happy. And you're probably thinking, well, yeah, probably other people think that, but I don't think that. But you might be surprised to actually, what if you could dive into that belief system, and you may have an aspect of it, and it, the way I said may not resonate with you, but it may be in your consciousness, in the group consciousness of New Zealand or France or wherever you're listening to the show. It may be ingrained in that group consciousness, and you may be believing that on some level that you may not be consciously aware of. So here it is for you to explore. It's very interesting. I am a very conscious consumer. I think about what I buy and how I buy it, but still I have that belief that, once I have the house, I'll be happy. Once I have a better car, I'll be happy. And obviously, none of these desires are wrong. I don't want you to think that. I don't want you to think that that's what I think. All of those things are beautiful and help us to experience more of this beautiful life on earth, but they don't make us happy. They are instruments, tools that help us to create that feeling of abundance, but it is an illusion, a lie that we tell ourselves when we think, I'll have the car and then I'll be happy. My understanding is that you can be happy now. You don't need anything or anybody in order to be happy now, and that's a very freeing understanding of life, and that's something that I really wanted to share with you, because I think happiness ultimately is a feeling that we create within ourselves. It doesn't depend on our situations. It doesn't depend on our job or the money in our bank or our friends or our family. We can be happy and satisfied and grateful right now. So that leads me to my second step, which is practice gratitude. So, as I mentioned earlier, it is in our nature to have the desire to grow and expand and learn and evolve. It is the way we are. It is who we are programmed to be. And so we need to have more. This is always us reaching for our next level. But sometimes, you think, I want to have $1 million in the bank, and you consciously create it, you manifest it, you meditate on it, you change your belief systems, and you're like, I'm totally gonna wake up tomorrow morning and have that $1 million in the bank. And then you wake up the next morning and you don't have the $1 million, and you're like, what the heck, man? What the heck, God? What the heck, myself? And it leads to frustration and resentment and anger towards yourself, towards the universe, towards God, towards everybody. Who, where are those $1 million in the bank? Why are they not in the bank? Why are they not coming to you right now? And so, yeah. What else did I want to say about that? So you can actually be happy now. And the way you can, let me rephrase this. An easier way for you to manifest, instead of, going from, I want this and it's not coming, I feel frustrated. I want this, it's not coming, and I feel frustrated. And that leads to a lot of resentment and fear, and, fear of stepping out of your comfort zone, and fear of yourself, fear of God, fear of Creator, fear of your next step. An easier way for you to shift this is to practice gratitude. So I am absolutely, completely certain of the fact that right now somebody loves you, and you are most likely surrounded with people who love you. You have enough money in the bank to sustain yourself. You have enough. You have a job. You may have, parents who love you. You have siblings who love you. You have. And then I'm sure that people are listening and thinking, well, actually I don't have this in my life, like it's all very well for her to say that, but I don't have all of that in my life, so surely it must mean that I cannot be grateful, I can't be happy. So even if those things are not present in your life right now, you can still be grateful for the fact that you are alive. You have this incredible body that has been given to you, and that has been the source of so many pleasures, right? You have this incredible body, you have arms and legs and eyes for you to see the world, to smell, a nose to smell the world. You have a voice for you to speak your truth and to sing in the car crazily because, oh my God, you're alive. That is the greatest joy of all. And so whatever you have or do not have in your life, you can still practice that feeling of gratitude. And so an easier way for you to do this is to actually say, well, let's make a list of everything that I have in my life, and actually practice that gratitude, practice that appreciation for everything that is in your life. So here it is, gratitude. And so you'll hear a lot of manifesting teachers talk about gratitude because it's a simple exercise, it's a simple process for you to shift from uncertainty and worry and fear into gratitude and peace and appreciation and the reaching for more from a feeling of satisfaction, if that makes sense. Awesome. So gratitude, yay. And that leads me to step number 3, which is focus on how you'll feel when you have those millions of dollars in the bank. So a lot has already been said about manifesting, and I have certainly listened to a lot of podcasts and conversations from manifesting masters and not so masters, right? I have listened to a lot of crap about manifesting, and I've listened to a lot of wisdom around manifesting, and I want to talk about really the core of everything that I've learned so that you can really take it into your lives and apply it. So I think the most important thing about manifesting, and that's really the only thing that you need to know about manifesting, is focus on the feelings of already having your manifestation in your life. So that's something that Amanda Frances, one of my teachers, says a lot, and I resonate with it a lot. So focus on how it'll make you feel when you have the millions of dollars in the bank, or when you have the soulmate. So imagine how you would feel when you have that manifestation. So imagine that I have just handed you a check of $1 million and you're about to put it in your account. You're about to check it in. So imagine how it makes you feel. So close your eyes for a second, unless you're driving or doing something important. Only close your eyes if you can, if you can take that time. But really feel that feeling of, oh my God, I have that money in the bank, and I'm going to be able to do so many things with that money, and I'm going to go to the supermarket, and I'm going to book that trip that I've always wanted to take. I'm going to learn how to play the trumpet, and I'm going to buy that car, and I'm going to treat my mom to an incredible evening at the restaurant, and we're going to have so many incredible conversations with each other. I feel alive. I feel grateful. I feel connected. I feel so very grateful to this money that is going to support me to experience more into my life. So really feel the feelings. If you're manifesting a soulmate, oh my God, I was just thinking that I have just been working with a client last week, and he really wanted to manifest a soulmate into his life, and that was his dream. And so we did a manifesting meditation through the Theta Healing technique together, and I invited him to really feel the feelings of already having his soulmate into his life. I wanted him to feel the connection with his soulmate, the way she laughs. I wanted him to feel what it feels like to hold her hand and to walk together on the street, or to go to a coffee shop and have incredible conversations, to laugh together, to experience that intimacy, that connection, that the fact that life is amazing. And I guided him through the meditation, and I could feel him shifting it from fear, like, oh my God, my soulmate is not into my life right now, and I feel so alone and sad, and it's never going to happen for me. And I could feel him going from that state into appreciation, connection. Her soulmate, his soulmate still wasn't in his life. He was still in the process of manifesting her, but he knows when she's going to show up, how she's going to show up, and he knows the feelings of already having the soulmate. And so that's the most important thing that I want you to take away from that podcast, from that radio show episode, is remember, practice feeling the feelings of already having what it is that you want. So make a list of everything that you want. I have a lot of goals for 2020. I have goals for my business. I have goals for my relationship with my husband. I have goals for my relationship with myself. I have goals for my level of health and fitness. I have goals I have so many goals in my life, and I have so many things that I am yet to manifest, or I'm in the process of manifesting, let's put it this way. And I know how I'm going to feel when I receive this manifestation, and every single day I practice this manifestation of already having the house, already having the intimacy, already having that level of connection with myself, already feeling fit and healthy and, I don't know, beautiful and sexy and glamorous into my body, right? I practice those feelings, and I know that this is something that I'm actually working towards. Perfect. So that's what I really wanted to share with you, and I hope that you can take something from that conversation. The other thing is that you need to take action. That's the bonus step number 4. You need to take inspired action. So when I say this, people usually say, well, I don't really want to take action, or they kind of start to feel that fear because, you know, you manifesting that soulmate, you manifesting that $1 million in your bank account is going to require you to take action. And of course, it is possible for you to say, well, you know, I can sit on my couch and I can meditate and I can feel the feelings of already having my soulmate into my life, and I'm just going to sit on my couch for the next 10 years and my soulmate is just going to show up. Right? Well, I think it's possible, but I also think that we are beings who love to take action, and we live in this material world and we take action every single day. So it's no different from, you know, making dinner to you manifesting your soulmate. So you have to, I don't know, take inspired action for you. So if you feel the feelings of already having your soulmate into your life, and think about the next step for you. You don't need to know exactly where you're going or how you're going to make it or everything that you need to do in order to be ready for your soulmate. You just need to think about that one single step. So what is your next single step? What do you need to do? It may be to, I don't know, sign up to a dating app. I have no idea how dating apps work. I met my husband the old-fashioned way, but maybe that's the right step for you. Or maybe it would be to, I don't know, go to a coffee shop. You really feel called to go to a coffee shop right now, and maybe you're going to meet your soulmate at the next table and you're going to have the most amazing conversation together. I do not know, but what is your next step for you?